Hey, New Hope. Pastor Tommy here. And before you say anything, I know what you're thinking. Tommy, you don't look as swole as you usually look. Correct. That's because my gym has been closed down because of the coronavirus. But speaking of coronavirus, that's what I'm here to talk about. Basically, from now until this thing ends, until we're able to meet again and what have you, Samuel and I will be doing devotions online, like in a minute. I'm getting ready to do it. Um, on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. I'll do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Samuel will do Wednesday, and I will be either live streaming or posting a sermon on Sunday. I'm not sure exactly what. We're still working on technology and licensing and all that kind of stuff. So, with all that said, I thought I would give you a little bit of perspective today, at least perspective that comes to my mind when we face these kind of trials and tribulations. Probably 22 years ago, um, my oldest daughter Abby was about 3, and Flannery was 2, and Judy was pregnant. And about 11 weeks into that pregnancy, she miscarried. And it was a pretty hard miscarriage. It was certainly hard. I took it very hard. Judy was hospitalized. Some friends took our 2 girls to their house, and I went back to our home and by myself at about 2 in the morning, and I just didn't know what to do or what to think. Why had this happened to me and my family? And for some reason, I felt compelled to look to my bookshelf and pull off a volume by John Calvin. It was just, I remember looking around and pulling the book down and staring at it for a while. And then I just flipped it open. And the very first words that I saw when I opened it were these: By our tribulations, God weans us from excessive love of this present life. Let me read that again. By our tribulations, God weans us from excessive love of this present life. And what Calvin goes on to talk about is how what God does is send things often our way to remind us that this world isn't our home ultimately, or at least the world in its current state isn't our home. Notice what else he says. He says, the whole soul enmeshed in the allurements of the flesh seeks its happiness on earth. To counter this evil, the Lord instructs his followers in the vanity of the present life by continual proof of its miseries. The last thing he says in this paragraph, he says, for this we must believe, that the mind is never seriously aroused to desire and ponder the life to come unless it be previously imbued with contempt for the present life. In other words, what Calvin is saying is that God sends us trials and tribulations, or he allows them to come into our life, oftentimes to get our attention and to remind us that there are things that are more important than the mundane things that we are doing. And so I'd ask you, what is God doing now to challenge you? What's the most challenging thing in your life right now in the context of this coronavirus? You had this illusion of control in your life, and now that's gone, and now what do you have? One thing I can say by way of perspective is that there's purpose in all this. We don't know what it is. It's been hard. It's been hard for me here. It's been hard for Samuel. It's been hard for you guys, I know. And yet, by faith, I know we're going to look back and talk about the good that came out of this time. So as you're thinking and praying, remember that there's bigger things in this world going on, and there's more important things going on in this world than our comfort and our ability to control things. And now we get a chance to actually live into what it means to have faith, at least if you're a person of faith. And so think about that, and we'll be talking to you later.